Okay, things are starting to wrap together slowly but surely. We are one episode away from the finale, Common Side Effects, Episode 9. So, with nowhere to turn, Marshall decides to work with Hildy. And we get this really cool time lapse in this episode. Make sure you watch that opening. That was just awesome. I loved it. And it shows that they care. Okay, so the biggest thing is the fact that Hildy is taking advantage of Marshall. She is actually selling these mushrooms. And not only that, they are also giving them to people that don't even need them. Marshall wants to meet some type of order. They don't. And don't worry, guys, we are not done with Marshall quite yet. Now we have the saddest part of the episode for me, especially. Cabano and Harrington, they decide to go and interrogate Zane, the brother of Marshall, and whenever they do, they can't really get anything out of him. This is where they discover a bunch of illegal pets, they blackmail him, and he spills the juice. Now you're all wondering what breaks them apart. Well, the fact is they each want to handle it a different way. Cabano wants to do it solo dolo, just the two of them on their own. He thinks he can't trust anyone else. As for Harrington, she wants to go and talk to the FBI. Now, big twist is the fact that Cabano is doing his own work. He's starting to make connections. He sees something about like Amelia. He's like, oh yeah, Amelia had a sick kid. That's where boom, two and two are together. He goes to the store, sees Amelia, and now they're together. As for Cabano, she turns out to be working with the FBI, and it looks like they're about to raid Marshall in this big lab. Well, we're going to talk about the twist here in a few. And for our double feature, we have Francis as well as Rick working on a synthetic version of the mushroom, which has tons of side effects, as well as Francis is frustrated because she wants to try and grow it, but Rick is highly against it due to not being able to copyright it very easily, and the fact is anyone can grow it. And for our second feature, we have a very sick Jonas. So Marshall finally discovers that Hildy has been asking money for this drug the whole time. Not only that, but whenever he goes outside, he gets jumped by a familiar face. The same man from the car wreck. He's got a gun in his hand, and he was waiting outside. He jumps on Marshall and points this gun at him and starts threatening him. He's having a side effect. So, from this mushroom, he's seeing these little white people that we've all been seeing this whole time. We're just like, hey, maybe this is just a part of the show and it's all something that's just there. It's just there. But no, the fact is it opens this new mindset for Marshall that, hey, maybe this drug isn't ready. So Hildy actually asks him to go for a walk. And while they're walking, Marshall kind of tells her, hey, I'm very hesitant about continuing making this drug. Maybe we should just test things. So it's starting to look like him working with Francis earlier might have been able to be compromised. But whenever there's a stop at this big hilltop right by a cliff, Marshall's going on a little bit. He's on the very edge, and we're kind of worried. This is where he gets backstabbed by Hildy. She covers his face with her jacket as well as pushes him down a cliff. So we're gonna have to see what happens to Marshall upcoming. And for our grand finale, guys. And to add with Marshall being down, we go back to a familiar face that is very sick. Jonas is looking at different mushrooms to try and cure the sickness. Finally, he gets a text about North Carolina, the connection for this mushroom. He's on a plane flight and he's getting ready to go there. So, epic clash coming. Everyone's going to be going at it. Don't really know where Francis is going to play. Maybe we're going to get to see some type of twist where Marshall as well as her and Rick work together. I don't know, but fantastic episode. And with that, let's get to our rating. So, I give this an 8.3. This series has really been fantastic. I love what it's doing and where it's all going down. With that, guys, question of the day is, how did you feel about this episode? Stay safe, guys. Till next time, peace out.